Hello, the Astroflower. Welcome to the collective reading for December. First things first, thank you all the new subscribers that we got this week. Welcome to the family, and thank you for your confidence that you give this channel. Absolutely lovely. So yes, we're going to be doing a monthly reading, and you will have your individual sign readings coming out this week as well. It will tie into this as this monthly reading. If you're interested in a live where you can ask questions on your monthly readings, well, put a comment in the description, love a live, so then I can see if there's enough people interested in it. Okay, yes, I will. Yes, so it will all sort of tie in. Let's just see what's going on. So we got this Astroflower here, lovely. Welcome to it. We're going for week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Basically in the month of, that's roughly what it equates to, that sort of thing. We'll get the overall message as well from it. We're going to be clarifying with the Light Seers cards after it. But let's just go straight in with this. This is it. This compression that I think that everyone has been under. Generally, it seems like it's squeezing that last bit of sort of juice out of that orange, as you sort of like, this is it, and it's now you can out with the old and in with the new. It's a sort of, it's maybe there's a taste of that orange juice at last that we've been squeezing. So there's been a lot of purification going on, I think, over the last 2 months. Really, and that ties in with the eclipse readings and stuff like that, which we've done on our channel. Now the overall energy is really sort of going on and striking out. So this is on the relationship side. This is not necessarily with you, with a relationship with your partner, that you will see on your individual readings, but this is how we interact with one another as a collective, between us, within individual groups and etc. And there is I think it ties into this absolutely beautifully with the King of Wands and the Ace of Wands. Look at that for the starting up lineup. I think this is our karmic mission, is to follow this new sort of direction that seems to be coming to the collective in a very passionate way. But there is 2 types of passions, obviously. There is a passion kind of going, oh, I'm going to get that person. And that is passion. Can't be denied. And energy does not differentiate between that passion there and the passion of, oh yeah, this could be great. So it is a case of what do we follow here? And I think this is where we have a combination of the 2, because more often than not, kind of going, this is great, oh, this could be absolutely fantastic. It's pipe dreams as well. It has the negative, the yin yang fact on both sides of the aisle between and so it's choosing the thing is with the King of Wands, it's very much like the Emperor card. It's not like the King of Wands doesn't rule with a fist of iron, as it were. It doesn't, the King of Wands rules with his passion, and it's his passion is measured according to the pathway that he's going down. And I think here we need a certain authority. It's like the rest of the world, if we turn around, if the majority of the people in the world sort of saying, look, forget about trying to, extinguish life on this planet between the pair of us and the planet itself, let's just stop it. Let's just stop doing that. Let's at least stop creating things that destroy. That sort of thing. If we started doing that and kind of going, come on kids, stop it now, put your toys down, the grown-ups are back in the room. That's what the authority and passion needs to be. And I don't think, it may be someone who sows that seed, but it doesn't necessarily, once that seed has been sown, we shouldn't be just concentrating on that one seed. These seeds should be sown across the globe, throughout the collective, basically. So, yeah, I think that's what sort of comes up. And the universe wants this. The universe and the universal energy it's like when we've got a kid, yeah? Okay, so, for all of those who've had kids, well, everybody knows about kids and everything like that, regardless of whether you've had kids or not. When you see that little toddler, they've already started to walk and they got it, and sometimes you kind of see them walking, you kind of go, oh man, they're going to fall, and they do, but they get back up. And then they can't walking again. Sometimes they injure themselves, but it's not, as long as it's not fatal, it's going to be fine. From what's that phrase? From what doesn't kill us, we learn from, that sort of thing. And I think the universe here is sort of saying, look, we back you all the way, whichever you want. If you want to destroy ourselves, our collective, if we want to destroy everything, the universe will back us and say, okay, fine, fair enough. Let's destroy everything. The individual choice is incredibly important. And it's through our actions and through our passions that I think we'll find the solution. Where have we come from? Well, this is to do with that distillation. So in the first week of December, I said we were going to do this by week. The story is overtaken more than anything else. So in the first week, this is where we will still see this change of fortunes. We will sort of see things sort of marching in that sort of direction. Yeah. This is also, if you're looking at the Astroflower, and this is where I got caught in the story of it all, this is also about this petal here. Okay, it could be week 2, but it's also about where we're coming from to where we're going. And I think that pressing of the orange juice, which we've been through over the past sort of 2 months in the collective, has basically shown us the evident path of what we should be following. And in the second week, this is what's happening. From this change, which hopefully will, not hopefully, because I'm not a great fan of hope. And if you're called Hope, it wasn't you as a person. It was, that's why they put Hope in with the box of Pandora, because it is one of the eels. Here is, I think we're realising it rather than hoping. And I think this is with the karmic mission that we as a collective need to go on. And I think this is where the human race needs to sort of stand up and be counted. And it's in the second week, it's a bit of a revelation and kind of going, wow, yeah, we can do this. This is all sort of, and then you get the Ace of Swords that want to come out. That is so true. If we realise that, then victory over destruction is ours. And it's very, very simple. It's very, very simple. It's the Hangman. I think this realisation will, in the third week, and this is also to do with the solstice as well. The solstice as well comes out in the third week. This is where we will start to see things in a different way. The collective will really start, the adults are back in the room basically. And nonsense stuff, and I've been talking about this for months. Almost it feels like I've been talking about it for a year now, about the logical revolution. And I understand sometimes things take very long time. It's like the hare and the tortoise. The tortoise still gets to the end at the same time as the rabbit, because the rabbit sort of runs itself out of steam. Tortoise can go day and night, And I think this is just seeing things in this third week, the collective between us as a social sort of network. We will start to see things in a different way. And then you get the Ace of Pentacles. All of a sudden, we have this opportunity between Christmas and New Year, by the looks of it. And the overall outcome for this is a complete new way of interacting with one another on a very physical level and starting to heal more than anything else. And this is a golden opportunity. It really is. There's a lot of luck playing on our side. And I think it's because the universe is encouraging us to do this. If we can just take that notion that we're all part of this beautiful planet and the life cycle of this planet, and there's no one better than the other and everything like that. just doesn't work like that. Energy doesn't work like that. There is no, I've got higher consciousness than you. No, it's not at all. There's none of that hierarchy stuff that we all we put it within the human world, but that's the animal world. That's the material world. That's what Buddha understood. For our spirit and our soul, we don't need any material, but our body does. Our body needs to drink. Our body needs to eat. Our body needs to laugh. It also needs to cry. But whatever it is, realizing that we're all on this lovely journey together, and sometimes it's sunshine, sometimes it rains, but we'll get through it together. That's the sort of thing that should be coming out. On this, we're moving on to our material side of life. We have the star card. I think with this realization of peace, this realization of we're all on this one planet together, we should be all right, we should look after each other. I'm not talking about sort of, there is a certain degree where the material world does rule. So I think competition is a very good thing, as it's healthy competition. There's nothing wrong with healthy competition. It helps us as individuals and collectively to strive to be the best example of what we can be. And I think this is within our material world. I think this is starting to dawn on us with this star. The clouds are starting to dissipate, and we can see that star that shines for us in the material world. And it could be to do with an economic evolution in a logical sort of sense. In a very logical sort of sense. It's going to need planning. Obviously, this realization that is within every single one of us. This is not talking to the people who think they're setting the rules, because they're only setting the rules in order to make one group of people succeed. And I think we've come to the end of that road. And we have to plan for something different. And I think in the first week, this is when ideas come to the surface. This is when propositions are put into place onto the world stage, according to taking this world to a different level. And some things are going to be, a lot of things are presented in life, sort of saying, oh, we'll do this, it'll make you a lot more secure and everything like that. And it ends up being the thing that is used to hound the general public. And I think that's, the general public has to sort of realise possibly that that's not a good idea. So plans come afoot. There's something that's being born here within the first week. And look at this. 3 of Wands, 2 of Wands, 3 of Wands. This is so progressive. This is really nice to see on the material side because it's progressive. On the material side, that does have to happen. You can't kind of go, well, we'll do the fruit now and then we'll do the flower afterwards. It doesn't work like that. There has to be a progressive situation going on here. And I think here in the second week, and this is from our past as well, the universe wants to bring forward a plan for us. In our past, we've sort of hesitated. We all know, when there's a crack in the wall of the house, at some point you've got to repair that crack. And we've been kind of going, oh, well, maybe it'll be all right, maybe it'll be all right, maybe it'll be all right. No. When it rains, it doesn't rain on one person's roof. It's going to rain on everybody's. And here is, we've got to sort of think about going on that journey. And this is the third week. This is that eclipse and solstice week. And we are taking a direction. The Queen of Swords, through her judgment, through her judgment and control over her emotions, she's choosing a direction. And that direction is pointing in towards that passion of the overall energy that's coming through, which initially is connected to that. That, because that's our karmic collective path. How brilliant is that? And I think this is where we're making that choice. We're sort of, and I think that's very logical as well. The Queen of, because she's got control over her emotions, It's a very logical decision that we're collectively making. And this is what this logical evolution I keep talking about is all about. What's the fourth week and what's the outcome of this? The Six of Cups. This is a case of, this is what I meant at the very beginning when I said competition is important. I think you see that naturally within nature as well. But often animals, even when they confront one another, and it's the same within the vegetable world as well, the vegetation, within trees and brambles and stuff like that, it's not that they attack the other one. So let's take it in the vegetation world. I think that's really important. It's a case of not throwing the baby out with the bathwater here. And I think this is what is really important here. And this is what comes out the evolution, the logical evolution. So basically, if you look around the forest, there's often sort of brambles around the forest. And the forest is pushing up against the brambles, and the brambles are like pushing up against the forest. There's this sort of like push and pull, to and fro thing going between them all. But actually, when the when the acorns of that tree falls into the brambles, that acorn can then germinate and grow to a certain height before the deer can get to it because it's in the brambles. So it protects its growth at the beginning. And this is how the forest actually progresses and grows. So you get this same sort of situation where there's a push and pull, but it's actually within both persons' interest. And eventually those brambles will move out because that little tree will grow, and once it does grow to a certain stage, the brambles are moved out and welcome the acorns of that new tree. It's a natural, logical progression that we need to do, and we shouldn't throw everything out. There's lots of things that us as collective humans have done absolutely brilliant within the material world. And, the economy is an interesting thing. It's, I'm not against money at all. It's a very good way of exchange. But we have to realise what the exchange is all about. Okay? I go off on a ramble sometimes, and I do apologise about that. You will have your individual readings coming up, your monthlies coming up as well, so keep an eye out for them. If you're not already subscribed, why not? We're having so much fun on this channel. Just exploring life. That's what life is all about, surely, exploring. So, and just, you're more than welcome. Subscribe. There's loads of links in the description below. You can get you can book up an individual reading with me or your healing session with me. That's my daytime job. That's what I love doing. I've been working with energy for 30 odd years. It's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Love it. But anyway, let's just do a bit of a clarification with the Light Seers card, shall we? You get the Three of Wands here again with the Ace of Wands. And I think this is also, running here, you've got the Three of Wands on this side, on our collective material side. And on that side, you get the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is not necessarily a procrastinating card at all. Sometimes it could just mean there's a lot of choices and we dither a bit. But the same thing is about the Three of Wands here. So on this card here, you can see on this Three of Wands, this person here is observing out to sea. They're seeing these waves that are coming in. And I think we're starting to recognize that wave. And I think the overall energy here is sort of saying, don't wait anymore. Take this wave. If you want things to really pan out in a beautiful sense for the whole ascension movement, then yeah, I would not wait anymore. Join in. And just join in. And that doesn't mean by protesting and everything like that. You're not going to change things like that. You're going to change things through the actions and doing things, basically. With the King of Wands, you get the Ten of Pentacles. We get the Ten of Pentacles, with that Ace of Pentacles at the top. That is our karmic destination, people. Collectively between us. And once we do that, once we sit in that sort of natural power, and it's not a case of I've got dominion over you, it's just that I know that that's true. That's not wrong. It doesn't feel wrong. I know it's not wrong. Logically, it's not wrong either. And passionately, I know it's not wrong. Therefore, it's true. And, regardless of how you look at life, once when you realise that, you don't really need any laws in order to tell you how to be. You shouldn't be stealing off your neighbour. I think everybody knows that. There's no excuses. If you've got nothing, you can go to your neighbour and sort of say, look, we're dying of hunger over here. I don't suppose you've got a bit of bread. And I'm sure your neighbour will turn around and sort of say, oh man, I didn't realise. This is the problem. If we started actually just sort of like saying, it's okay to sort of say, I'm in trouble. It's okay. It's okay. That's how we can help each other. Ace of Swords, as I said, it wanted to come out, and it has come out, and it's coming out with the Wheel of Fortune. The universe wants us, and I think they're giving us this victory if we so desire, basically. The universe is giving us everything. And I think this change of fortune here in the first week is a decisive victory for the logical evolution. I think in this week here, it seems like it's almost as if people are turning around and saying, why? I'm not even going to go to that demonstration. I'm not even going to, the thing is, these are kids here that are messing around, that are doing stupid things that we know is not a good idea. And, we have to call them out. And then we have to take their toys away from them. But not take their toys away and go and point it back at them. No. Take them. From all sides. It's not one side. It's just kind of, again, if you're going to play with those toys, sorry, man, you're going to be in trouble. We're not you're going to be in trouble. We're going to stop you. And we're not going to stop you by beating you over the head. We're going to just stop you by just sort of kind of going, okay, turn that back. Don't give them anything. No one. Don't give any of them anything. Make them get on. They'll have to get on. They'll have to. Passions, King of Wands, Ace of Wands, Seven of Cups. You get the Page of Passions on our second, Page of Wands on the second week. And I think seeing that evident path, and this is the thing about this, the Seven of Cups is a revelation. It's a revealing thing. It's revealing to us the cup that's actually providing things that we want or the things that we need in life. The energy that is obvious, that is evident. And this comes out of us being passionate about living life, enjoying life. Enjoying life with our neighbours doesn't necessarily mean you have to be like the bestest of buddies. But no point should we ever try and make our neighbour's life difficult because, we don't necessarily agree with them. We've got to wake up from this, people. And it's on the smallest levels that these massive sort of neighbours don't get on mass scale, is because it starts with that whole idea of kind of going, I don't like that neighbour, I'm going to park my car in front of his house. Just to annoy him. That's the sort of thing you've got to stop. You got to stop. Seven of Pentacles with the Hangman. Now this is the solstice week as well, the third week. Yes, I think this is what going through us as well, collectively, the whole time during this week, is seeing things in a different way and start nurturing the good things that are actually coming out of this. The beauty that is coming out of the passions. That's what we should be nurturing. And it seems like that's what we're doing this month. There is a real possibility from the 20th. I'm even getting the 18th and the 19th. From around about the 18th and 19th, all of a sudden it's kind of going, okay, we know now how to put our energy and our emotions into something that is worthwhile. What did I say about an offering? There is eventually, between Christmas and New Year, we have an opportunity here to really kind of make striving advances for the logical evolution. In a very physical way, but also in an incredibly emotional way. Because it's the Page of Cups. It's opening that doorway for that King of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles to exist within this world. We have this opportunity. It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to take it, because obviously that's what free will is all about. I'm not going to convince you because I'm too busy living life as well. But what I will do is, I will turn around and sort of say what I think, even to my neighbour. I love my neighbour. I've loved all my neighbours, even if they're a bit cranky at times, But at the same time, if we don't take it, we don't take it. If we choose that sort of thing about destroying everything, then, energy will kind of go, okay, let's destroy it. This opportunity is too good not to waste. It's too good to waste, basically. It's so simple. It comes across as so evident and so simple. Takes all the complexity out of the world of kind of going, I've got to say this, can't say this, got to say this, can't say this. Oh, blimey, what do I say? I've got to think about what I say before I say it. If you're in that sort of state, you're never going to be saying the truth. And I think that's detrimental to us as a collective. As I said, I do ramble on a bit, so you might have to stop me occasionally. Anyway, let's get on to the material side. With the star card, you get the Queen of Wands. Have you noticed already? I've noticed. Yeah. As I said, I think it was tied into the relationship or the emotional side of life. And what do we get? We get the King and Queen of Wands. Divine plan this is. And this is the divine plan. There you go. It's in the first week. It's about concentrating on those little lights, those stars. Yeah? Just concentrating on one thing at a time, getting things done, working through things, putting in place a plan of action. Temperance. Two things on the temperance here. Now, we've got planning here in the first week. It's also coming in from, this is the sort of influence from the universe as well. Temperance is about sort of being patient, but it's like being on the starting grid of a race, of a car race, whichever, NASCAR or Formula One or whatever, and you're waiting there. You've got to be patient for that green light. But when that green light goes, don't be sitting there kind of going, oh, is it there? Is it really? No. Patience doesn't necessarily mean everything's stopped. It's a case of concentrating our energy into that plan. And then the other thing on the temperance card is converting night into day. So seeing the reality for what it is. Creating that 10 of cups. I'll be interested if it does come up with the 6 of cups up the top. It'd be very interesting. And this is what's happening in the first week. Yes, it might be a case of being patient with other people around us or within the material world that didn't quite get the email or didn't quite understand the memo, but having that patience to go forward. But it is implementing that a plan of action, basically, in regards to the material world. In the second week, with the 3 of Wands, you get the 5 of Wands. There could be a sort of certain resistance against the logical evolution. I can understand that totally. But it doesn't necessarily mean that resistance has reason. And if we don't do it, that conflict will bring us back down. And that we don't need that. There is the flip side of this. It's like the yin yang to everything. It's like the passion and sort of scenario here. This is what we're coming to here. And this is the crux of that material side of it all as well. Is that this card here is all about being the best example of yourself. Striving to be that light. Striving to be that ace of wands. And I don't think in the second week here, I think it's a case of getting on. And we shouldn't wait around too much, basically, collectively. Really amazing month, I think. I would keep your eye on what's going on around you. And generally, because it is fantastic. I'm loving it. With the Queen of Swords, you get the Seven of Cups. Now, this is twice we've had the Seven of Cups up here. We've had twice the Three of Wands. Just trying to see if we've had twice on anything else. No, we haven't had twice on anything else. But, so the Seven of Cups here, I think this is where emotionally we have the control over the situation. So I think basically from this, all of this logical evolution, there is plenty of choices around it. But actually, once you start looking within you, and this is that whole idea of sort of, you realise when you're stealing from your neighbour that that's not a good idea. It just doesn't work. You know, I'm sure, you know, imagine if you stole their lawnmower, yeah, for cutting the grass. You might need a lawnmower. But I'm sure if you went over to your neighbours and you were nice with your neighbours and you said, look, I don't suppose I could borrow your lawnmower. I can help with the upkeep with the lawnmower, you know, put it in for a service or whatever, occasionally. You know, I'm sure your neighbour kind of go, yeah, go on then, all right, no worries. Just watch out for this because it's a bit tricky on that, you know. I think that sort of thing will happen. And I think this is what comes out of that. I think that's what that realisation, it's a revelation moment for us. And it comes into that Six of Cups of not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, basically. Okay? Queen of Cups. Do you know, in a lot of cultures, obviously, it is, this is not gender specific, but it tends to be, you know, in most cultures, females look after the financial side of life. It just seems to be that way, you know. It just seems to be that way. And you've got two queens down this side as well. Three queens. We've now got three queens down the financial side. And this is built out of a lot of compassion. So females have a lot more compassion than blokes have. You know, it's just an observation. It doesn't mean that blokes can't have compassion at all. It doesn't mean that females can't be uncompassionate. You know what I mean? It's just a general observation. You know, we're doing generalizations here. It doesn't apply for every single case. But here I think this is with this. You get the Queen of Cups with the Six of Cups. I said the Ten of Cups, but we're pretty much there with the Queen of Cups. I think this is, by the end of the week, I think we've realised our past, the good things that we've got, that we want to keep. We're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater here. And this makes everybody, the collective, just kind of go, this is great. We can really do some great stuff. We can change everything. And it will make life so much better for everybody else. Can you imagine if no one stealed, no one sort of like committed moral crimes against one another? Because there's moral crimes and there's a big difference between murdering someone and killing someone. You know, if someone's going on a rampage with a weapon and, you know, you take that person out to stop them from killing, murdering other people, then, you know, it's probably a good thing. You know what I mean? It's very sad that we get to that stage, obviously, for everybody concerned. But at the same time, you can't have that going on. That's just ridiculous. Animals don't do that. They don't kill one another, really, generally. It does happen in some cases, yeah. And there's some species that will do it just to the death. And it's just, you know, it's because they're, you know, but we've got that consciousness. And this is where I think out of this whole sort of month here, it progresses into the last week between Christmas and New Year, where it's almost as if we kind of go, wow, yes, this could be so good. I'm looking forward to it anyway. Anyway, there you go. That's a collective reading. Don't forget you've got your individual readings coming out for each particular sign. I will be doing it by qualities, starting off with the fixed signs, then the mutable, and then going on to the cardinal signs. I thank you very much for the confidence you give this channel by subscribing and clicking the bell. There's loads of links in the description below as well to our sister channel, CYMATIC TV, the channel all about energy. I will see you there or here, whichever way it is. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.